quoted a price, 1/10 of what the landlord quoted. 1/10. And the landlord gave it off. And everybody was shocked. And later on the landlord said, when that great man stood in front of me, his presence was so influential. His tejas was influencing so much, I could not deny. I could not deny. And world great scientists, number one scientists, they will sit in front of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada very casually call them rascals. And they will be like laughing and shaking their body, and they will be laughing. Prabhupada used to call them rascals, some big personalities. The influence and the presence of Prabhupada was amazing. Seeing this, many other immature devotees went and called rascal somebody. They went and addressed somebody as rascal, and they got nicely back. Prabhupada was very influential. They could melt a stone by their purity. That's why when Prabhupada preached, when Narada Muni preached, 10,000 sons of Daksha got up and started following Narada. 10,000 sons. Narada Muni said, don't get entangled in the material world, surrender to Hari. They all got up and said, okay, and they walked behind Narada. The power of purity. That's how. So they all so confident that if Lord Chaitanya associate with, gives association to Prakashanand Saraswati, no doubt Prakashanand Saraswati will change. But Mahaprabhu is giving a different lesson. Mahaprabhu is telling, let us go to Mathura, Vrindavan, and on the way back I will meet Prakashanand Saraswati. So, surrendering to Lord is first. So when we preach to someone with a prayerful mode, praying to Krishna, Krishna, I have got this wonderful opportunity to serve you. And the person standing in front of me is getting troubled by this material nature. Please cast your mercy upon him. Shower your mercy upon him. With a prayerful mood, if you speak a few words, the soul will be eager to accept it. But the preaching, if it is just a display of our talents and ego and exhibition of our own self, the result will be useless and futile. So it should be like a prayerful mood. So Lord Chaitanya said, I'm going to Mathura, Vrindavan. And on my way back, I will meet Prakashanand Saraswati. So Tapan Mishra, Chandrasekhara Acharya, and Sanatan Goswami, they all became jubilant and very eagerly waiting for Lord Chaitanya's arrival from Vrindavan. And there is a Brahmana, Sadhu. He is a kind of mediator, arranging the meeting between Prakashanand Saraswati and Lord Chaitanya. So, this Brahmana, out of so much of enthusiasm, joy, he went to Prakashanand Saraswati and said, oh great sannyasi, Maharaj, Mahaprabhu had come. Lord Chaitanya had come from Navadvip. Lord Chaitanya is amazing, this, that, as though the Brahmana has got 1,000 mouths. He is going on glorifying Lord Chaitanya in front of Prakashanand Saraswati. Prakashanand Saraswati politely, very, very gravely he said, who? That Yuva Sannyasi? That young immature person, always jumping and dancing and singing Hari's name, doesn't sit and study Veda, doesn't know Vedanta. What kind of sannyasi he is? He is an immature person. Not only that, he is very young. He is not fit to be a sannyasi. When Prakashanand Saraswati said this, the Brahmana's heart shattered into thousands of pieces. Because with great respect and love, he went and explained this to Prakashanand Saraswati, and Prakashanand Saraswati reciprocated in a blunt way. So he was very disturbed. Why he is saying so? And Prakashanand Saraswati, with a great conviction, he said, he is a yuva sannyasi, young sannyasi, immature person, running around, jumping and dancing, chanting Hari's name. He is supposed to sit and study Vedanta. That is the duty of a sannyasi. So the Brahmana was very disturbed. Then he came back and told all the devotees, see, look at him, how he is talking. Why Prakashanand Saraswati is saying like this? He doesn't know who is Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, And the devotee got very deeply disturbed. And Lord Chaitanya smiled at him and said, don't worry. I will come back from Vrindavan and meet him. So the Brahmana was little solaced. So as all the devotees eagerly expected, Lord Chaitanya came back from Mathura. So the moment the Brahmana came to know that Lord Chaitanya has come back from Mathura, they're all eagerly waiting for this day. So they all ran to Lord Chaitanya in Tapan Mishra's place, Chandrasekhara's place, and said, okay, when are we going to meet Prakashanand Saraswati? Because they just wanted to simply go and preach to him. When are we going to meet? When are we going to meet? Then Lord Chaitanya said, okay, tomorrow afternoon, there is one ghat called Manikarnika Ghat in Kashi. Next to Manikarnika Ghat, there is a big temple hall. Look at the details Lord Chaitanya is giving that Brahmana, how to serve the sadhus. So Lord Chaitanya says, book that hall, arrange that hall, and call them for lunch. And Lord Chaitanya gives a list what and all you should cook. You should cook rice, dal, then you should cook bitter gourd, then you should cook saag. Then he gives a full list. The whole list is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhakti is in details. The amount of detail, that the energy which we invest in details, that is where the secret of devotional service lies. The full absorption when we render devotional service, it's very important. The devotee who is not learning the trick of getting fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness will slowly develop some distaste. He develops some kind of vacuum in his heart. He won't be able to relish bhakti. And then later on, the moment he develops a vacuum in his heart, then naturally he will start finding fault. So it is one after another. It's like a continuous thing. A devotee should be fully absorbed in pleasing Guru and Krishna. That is very important. So, Lord Chaitanya gave a complete detail how to serve those sannyasi, what and all you should cook, how you should serve, where you should do everything. And the Brahmana became so happy. And the Brahmana went and invited Prakashanand Saraswati with 5,000 disciples for lunch. The next day is the lunch. Beautiful. So, when we serve Vaishnavas, when we serve Guru, when we serve Krishna, Krishna says, use your mind and intelligence and serve, not mechanically. Suppose we give you a stamp paper with nothing is written there, and I am telling you, Prabhuji, you please sign under the blank paper. None of us will sign. We will ask 100 questions. We will use our mind, intelligence, everything, and we will try to find out what it is. In the same way, bhakti means is a conscious interaction between Jiva and Krishna. Conscious interaction, not mechanical, because Lord is present there. So when we consciously, with full presence, when we interact, we can feel the presence of Lord. So Lord Chaitanya is giving detail how to do, and so much thinking is gone there. I remember once somebody asked a question to His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. Why are you taking so much time to think a name for Diksha, Dikshit? When devotees are taking initiation, his secretaries will recommend so many names, choices. Even the candidate will give few choices, and the secretaries will give few choices. And even after all that, sometimes it is so strange. Gurudev is taking a lot of time thinking, and some senior person asked, "Why are you taking so much time?" Then Gurudev said, "This jiva will be known by this name in Goloka. So I have to think." Then he stopped. He did not explain further, but we understand there is something beyond that which we are not qualified to understand. Bhakti means mind, consciousness. Prabhupada said lazy intelligence is a very good thing. He classified people into 4: lazy fool, busy fool, lazy intelligent, and busy intelligence. And Prabhupada said lazy intelligent man is the best man. That doesn't mean you are physically lazy and lethargic and giving excuse. Carefully applying the intelligence. Be present, be conscious, be alert and awake. So Lord Chaitanya gave a full detail, and the Brahmana was jubilant, and he went and invited, and Prakashanand Saraswati also agreed for the lunch. And that day evening, Mahaprabhu went to this ghat, Kashi, that big ghat where even today the Ganga Arati is going on, one of the beautiful Aratis. Mahaprabhu went there during sunset. Then he saw the tens and thousands of disciples of Prakashanand Saraswati sitting there and meditating and chanting mantras. And they're all very honestly practicing their spiritual techniques and practices. They were doing very sincerely. Mahaprabhu saw them, and slowly walked on the ghat. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains, like a moon among the stars. They are also not normal people. Each one is a tapasvi, yogi, vairagi. So Mahaprabhu is like, a moon in between the stars. And he went there. It was a plan. The beautiful Lord, Lord Chaitanya will look like a molten golden color, glowing, tejasvi, brilliant. And his arms extended up to the knees, very slender and beautiful arms. His eyes and all extended up to the ears like lotus petals. Embodiment of love. With both the arms he raised arms, Lord Chaitanya started singing the holy names. And slowly, the villagers, people around that ghat, everyone joined, and thousands of people were chanting, and the holy name was reverberating on the bank of Ganges. Imagine thousands of people chanting, like boom boom, Krishna's name, and many were crying, many were screaming, many were rolling on the ground, and Lord Chaitanya in ecstasy. Gradually, these thousands of disciples of Prakashanand Saraswati also joined. You can imagine thousands of sannyasis jumping and dancing, how it would be. Amazing spiritual experience. And the sannyasis have never felt a joy like this in their entire life. They have never experienced anything like this. So they were wondering, is this what meant by Ananda? We were all looking for that Brahmanandam, that Brahma Ananda. Is this that Ananda? And the kirtan went on for a quite long time. Then Lord Chaitanya just disappeared from the crowd.